Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So if you're a Horus Heresy fan like me, then this is some pretty exciting news. We now officially have the dates for the next year's Weekender, and it's Saturday the 3rd of February and Sunday the 4th of February. But the big thing about this really is it's not called the Horus Heresy Weekender anymore. It's called the Horus Heresy and Necromunda Weekender 2018. Now, if you went to last year's, I would say this year's Weekender, this year's Horus Heresy Weekender, you should have an email with an invitation to pre-purchase your tickets right now. So if you went to this year's one, go and check your email. Suggest go and check your spam folder if you can't find anything, and you guys will be the first come first serve to get tickets for next year's one. So let's jump in and let's see what next year's Horus Heresy Weekender has. Now, just like all the Weekenders these chaps normally do, like the Block Library Weekender and the Horus Heresy Weekender, they're not held at the GWHQ. Unlike the Warhammer Open Days, which are held at the Games Workshop HQ Warhammer World, these are not. These are held at the Belfry Hotel, so just keep that in mind. If you are coming from out of town, then just make sure that you obviously book a hotel room, because this event is a two-day event, a big two-day event, and it's not actually at the GWHQ. So what's next year's Horus Heresy and Necromunda Weekender going to have? Well, firstly, they're going to have seminars from Black Library, which I absolutely love. The seminars from the Black Library, because I actually like speaking to the authors. The authors, well, every author I've spoke to is a down-to-earth person. They understand the lore, they enjoy the lore as much as you, and I really do think that at these seminars we're really got to start seeing some juicy details now about the upcoming books that surround Terra. Terra is going to be an amazing experience during the Horus Heresy. There's so much that happens at Terra. The Angel's Gate, of course, Sanguinius Mortarion versus Khan, Rogel Dawn. I'm really hoping Rogel Dawn fights someone on Terra. I'm thinking that he may fight Omegon, since he already fought Alfarius and something happened with that, so maybe Omegon wants to fight him now. But it would be awesome if actually Rogel Dawn got to fight Perturabo. I actually want these two guys to go hand-to-hand combat and just beat each other, and just to see who is the best. Or, you know, it's probably going to be a draw, knowing them two, because they're really as good as each other. But I'm going to say Dawn edges it just a little bit. But the Horus Heresy and Black Library mix perfect. I love all the stories. I think, actually, thinking about it now, one of the big amazing things I'm looking forward to is seeing Sigismund unleashed, because Sigismund becomes the Emperor's champion at Terra. He dons the full black armor and he just goes out and he faces every Chaos champion. He goes out and he shouts down every Chaos champion, and every champion that comes across Sigismund dies. He smashes them down. He is the Emperor's champion. He is the best. And apparently, now this is just a rumor, well, this is more of a theory from some people, that Khan is one of those champions and Sigismund will defeat Khan at Terra. I don't know if that is true, if that's going to happen, but that would be absolutely amazing, since Khan and Sigismund did have a bit of a friendship. Sigismund actually wears the chains around his wrists because of the World Eaters. He got the idea from Khan and the World Eater Legion itself. And of course, it is the Forge World Horus Heresy, so the Forge World are probably going to be showing off some new models. If I was a betting person, I would say it's going to be a Primarch. I would actually put my money on it's going to be Constantine Valdo, not Rogel Dawn, because I've got an inkling. At Christmas time, Forge World normally do like what's it called, like a calendar thing, where each day it unlocks a different cube and you have to guess the model. Last year's was Corax, according to my friend Tiberius, and since I spoke to the Forge World guy and he said Rogel Dawn was more or less done, and they didn't show him off at the Warhammer 40k Open Day, then I'm more or less convinced that they're saving him for the Christmas treat, and we should be seeing him around Christmas. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably completely wrong. But if I was a betting person, then I would bet my money that we'll get Dawn for Christmas to be viewed, and then Constantine Valdo as probably, you know, the big reveal model, and maybe another work in progress on a Primarch model. They always end the Weekender with a work in progress on a character model. Now, if I could beg them to do one model, it would be Sanguinius. Sanguinius, hands down, for me, is probably my most anticipated model. And I'm not really that much of a Blood Angel like fanboy, but Sanguinius himself is like, he's just amazing. That's all I can probably say about that guy. He's just the uttermost badass thing that's ever happened in the Warhammer franchise. And I was speaking to one of the Forge World staff at the actual open day about Sanguinius. I forgot to mention this in my video. And I said, you know, what about Sanguinius? And he didn't really say that much, but he was saying like everyone in the studio fears Sanguinius sculpt because there's so much pressure on that said person who's going to be doing it, because there's so much love, and you know what Sanguinius represents in the lore, not just 30k but 40k as well. His lineage through his sons is still present today in the 40k lore, so it's a really big feat for someone who's actually going to be designing that model. Now, for those of you who don't know, and probably this is hardly anyone, there was some really sad news that, of course, Alan Bly passed away. And he was the lead writer for the Horus Heresy Rules series, and of course someone would have to come in and take over from his position. To be fair, I didn't really want to ask at the Warhammer Open Day. I don't know, I just felt it was a bit premature and a bit wrong for me to do so. I know that might sound stupid, but I just didn't really want to buzz past that subject. But from what I heard from someone else, that they do have another project lead on the case now, and they are working on it. So maybe there's a big chance that the new Horus Heresy rulebook will be either previewed, or I think if we're really lucky, then maybe even pre-released at that said event for people to get their hands on, because that's what they tend to do, the weekenders as well. If they do have the book that's coming out, they do take a limited amount to the weekender, so people can buy it a couple of months in advance before it actually goes out to the mass of the general public. And on the subject of the next Horus Heresy rulebook, we're supposed to be getting some new legions in there, one being the Dark Angels, of course, 30k Dark Angels. My friend Tiberius collects these, and he's been patiently waiting for Dark Angels rules, and I do feel sorry for him, because like me as an Imperial Fist fan, I've got Sigismund model, but he hasn't got like any character models or, you know, HQ models at all for his army. He just sits there just waiting for the day he can get his hands on the Lion or Corswain or something like that. So hopefully, if that does come, then I'm hoping that it'll bring a lot of people back to 30k. I think one of the main problems for me is that I just lost interest in 30k. It was just I'm probably going to compare it to 40k now, since 40k are like over the past couple of years exploded with content. It was like every other week they were releasing something, and with the whole Primarch stuff coming back into it, because I'm a huge Primarch fanboy, so my attention was drew away from 30k because of the lack of content that was coming over to 40k, with just the week in and week out content we were getting from like new models and new armies, new codexes and stuff like that. You've probably seen now since the Space Marine Codex came out, what was it, 12 codexes we think we're actually going to get by the end of this year. So that is a huge amount of books for all the players, and of course all the Primaris Marines and everything that came with it. My attention is firmly on 40k, but I'm hoping they can pull me back into 30k, and maybe this new rulebook will be the thing to do that. And of course, now it's not just Horus Heresy, because the Forge World are now specialising in specialist games, one being Necromunda. Now, when I spoke to the chap at the Open Day, at the 40k Open Day, he said that half of the Forge World team has been moved on to specialist games. So the Forge World Horus Heresy team is working at half the staff that it had. This means specialist games like Necromunda. Of course, we've heard rumours of Battlefleet Gothic coming back, and apparently that's supposed to be like Horus Heresy Battlefleet Gothic, which sounds awesome. And of course, Titanicus. Now, Titanicus, I think that may be revealed at this event. I think they're being very quiet. There's nothing really mentioned in this email that's been sent out about that. I'm really hoping they have a preview game set up there, so people can go in and get some pictures, film it, and maybe discuss the rules on some boards and forums like that, because Titanicus for me is my it's my really only way I'm going to be able to own a Titan, because I can't really shell out £1,200 for a Warlord. I would absolutely love to, don't get me wrong, I would love to own a Warlord Titan, but the normal size ones are far too much for me. So hopefully the Titanicus stuff will be reasonably priced, and I'll be able to field a nice army of Titans and purge my way throughout the galaxy. Alright chaps, that is me done for another video. I would love to go to this, but with the commitment, with, yeah, of course I've got kids and stuff, I just really can't go away for 2 days at a random weekend and just, you know, spend it looking at models. I've got too much responsibility, curse my life, all this damn responsibility. So I'll probably just go to like one of these, like the Horus Heresy Day and stuff, which is at the Warhammer World and stuff like that. Those are the ones you'll probably find me at. With the weekenders, it's just really much a no-go for me. But I'm really hoping that people who do go can get some juicy content, some pictures and stuff, and pass on that information on the boards, because I absolutely love just looking at new models and seeing like all the brand new lore coming out about the Horus Heresy books and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very much excited. Like I said, it's on Saturday and Sunday, the 3rd and 4th of February at the Belfry Hotel. Very awesome news if you're a Horus Heresy fan. Even if you're not a Horus Heresy fan, I'm sure, you know, new models being shown off is always a good thing for you chaps. Right, I'm going to go because I'm just waffling on with myself because I'm pretty much too excited. Right, hope you've enjoyed the video, chaps. See you in a bit and have a great week. See you now and bye-bye.